Are we retarded? Yes, we're retarded. Are we retarded? Yes, we're retarded. That's the crowd. Also, here's some other wisdom I came across that I was thinking about this today, right? And this is going to be one of the most controversial things I say. But being liked on the internet is correlated to how much of a eunuch you are. And the only people who are liked on the internet are eunuchs. Men are really hated on the internet. If you're an actual man who stands by your manhood and you don't compromise, you will be despised. You will be the most hated fucking person on the internet. And if you're a woman, you will be fucking hated as a woman. You fucking bitch, you won't listen to you won't answer my DMs, whatever, right? The only people who get a free pass on the internet that everyone likes and they get all this showered in positive clout and positive attention are eunuchs. Make of that what you will. But put two and two together, what I just said is going to make a lot of sense, right? What I just said, going to make a lot of sense if you put two and two together. The only people on the internet who are liked are eunuchs. The only people on the internet who are liked by other people on the internet are eunuchs. And I realized there is a path for me to be likable, but it involves becoming a eunuch. And it's just not worth it to me. It's just not worth it to me. I insist on keeping my phallus. I'm not going to fucking... You have to be this, like, bitch. You know, you have to be this fucking snaky, slimy little bitch to be like these fucking Twitter, you know, dudes who quote tweet me, like that fucking guy who talked about me rocking on my rocking chair. That is a eunuch. That is someone who's, I'm just gonna sell my manhood for likes. That's what you have to fucking do. You sell your integrity, you sell your manhood, you sell your honor, you have nothing. And that's how you get like thoughts. That's how you fucking do it. That's how you get likes. That's how you become liked on the internet. You become a fucking eunuch, right? I mean, Jackson's got clout. He's not liked. Jackson's not well liked. He's super controversial. Same with me, right? But that is something I learned. That is one of the biggest red pills I learned, which is it's that eunuchs are the only people on the internet who actually are liked. No one else is liked on the internet. Nobody else. And that is such a fucking red pill. That is such a fucking red pill. When you realize that. I can't do it. I don't have that snake thing in me where I'm just like, I hate the public. Fuck the public. Fuck the audience. I don't like them. I'm sorry. And if you feel offended by that, I'm telling you the truth. If I like you, chat, it's because I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I got this chat, a bunch of random ass usernames, right? And I do recognize some of you. I do know some of you on a closer level, right? But I'm just saying, like, in general, all I'm doing is giving all of you the benefit of the doubt that, you know, you're decent people, right? But I don't see you as a subject. The minute I start thinking of you as a subject, it's because I hate you. If I think of you as a subject, like the crowd, I fucking despise the crowd. I hate them. I hate public opinion. I hate the opinion of a crowd. The opinion of a crowd is the only ever going to be expressed by a eunuch. The opinion of the crowd is the opinion of mental retardation. That's the truth. The crowd is never correct when it comes to whatever opinion they have. Never correct. Sometimes they aren't wrong, but they are never correct. Truth can never come from the crowd. Ever. Ever. Now, sometimes the crowd can get away with not being wrong, and that's neutral, right? But they're very oftentimes wrong outright, and they can never produce any positive truth. The crowd never produces any truth. Never. Never. That's the truth. I'm telling you the truth of what I actually think. Okay? When I say that, there's nothing, it's not worth it to me to be liked by the crowd. I don't want to be liked by the crowd. If I'm liked by the crowd, I'm being misunderstood. If the crowd ever likes me, I am being misunderstood. Period. But yeah, there's so many personalities that they're just appealing to the crowd. That's all they're fucking doing. I don't want to appeal to the crowd. I want to mold a crowd into the image of a fucking Mongol fucking warrior or some shit like that, right? Haas was going on his Ayn Rand arc. All right, I'm gonna make a Pat Sock Moments clip. I'm gonna make a viral Twitter clip. Here we go. Let's do it. I need the clout. Honestly, I need the exposure, right? I'm gonna say something. There's something about Ayn Rand I like. I said it. There's something about Ayn Rand I do like. And Ayn Rand basically plagiarized Lenin in terms of like her metaphysics. And yeah, her objectivism is almost one for one like an Anglo-box substantialism. I have a lot of problems with Ayn Rand, but there's something about she is onto something. Ayn Rand is onto something. She's definitely onto something, and I really like it. I like her anti-social, like fuck the crowd, fuck like that kind of thing. She is onto something. I don't, in the ultimate and final sense, obviously I don't agree with her, but she's onto something. She is onto something. 1000% she's onto something. And even her aesthetic is almost like socialist realism, her aesthetic. It's depicting the triumph of the laborer, the triumph, like her triumph of the individual is just the triumph of some kind of like perverted proletarian subject of some kind, but it's still like this it's a perverted form of Marxist humanism, but it is modern enough to just be effective in a way that I kind of appreciate. I like it. I like Ayn Rand. I like aspects of Ayn Rand. Definitely. When she talks about her hatred of the crowd, and she's something about like, I remember her saying like her character would rather destroy this work of art than let the crowd give their opinion on it. That is fucking true. That is so fucking true. Like, I am so fucking on board with that, like, view. Like, I'd rather fucking destroy something beautiful than let that fucking crowd get their disgusting, grubby hands on it with their fucking ugly, disgusting, retarded opinion. That is something I fully, like, I like that. And by the way, the crowd is not the people, okay? The people is sociological. It's a reservoir of a living soul. It's a soul. You know what the people is? The people is the waters of the soul. That's where the soul dwells. It's the waters of the soul, right? The people is the inspiration for all poetry and all art and beauty. I like the people, right? But the crowd is always corrupt. The crowd are just retards misunderstanding something. That's what a crowd is. I hate the crowd. See, the difference between the crowd and the masses, that's a good question. Okay, the masses is a benefit of the doubt. Because a mass is a quantity of form. It's the quantization of form. It represents the quantization of form. Every given thing, think of the ordinary language, every given thing has mass, right? So mass is just this quality of every single thing in terms of its quantity, right? Its ability to be quantified. So the masses, it's like a potential, right? That's what the masses are. But the crowd is a mimicry of the Sophia, of the sociological body that forms on the basis of falsehood. So a crowd is different from the masses because, for example, in the city, some guy with a megaphone can, "Are we retarded? Yes, we're retarded. Are we retarded? Yes, we're retarded." That's the crowd. See, a crowd can form based on anything. A crowd doesn't have to prove itself in anything materially real. A crowd doesn't prove itself in terms of anything eternal. A crowd doesn't ground itself like the rural masses, like the masses do in, some kind of labor or some kind of way of life or some kind of tradition. The crowd is the spontaneous formation that amplifies any given idea or any given word or discourse or statement, giving it an inflated and artificial power that it should not have, otherwise would not have. So that's the difference. A crowd is just like this spontaneous amplification of a voice, the voice of modernity, the voice of discourse, but it's not actually an articulation of a deep sociological truth of the people, which is something unconscious, which is something deep, which is a deep reservoir of our being as a people, right? So that's why I fucking hate the crowd, right? The crowd. See, this is the crowd. Like, I get up on stage, and it's like you know what the crowd is? The crowd is like that movie Idiocracy. So you get up on stage and you're like, I would like to announce that we need clean drinking water. That's basically saying that we should drink piss. We should drink piss. He's saying we should drink piss. That's like, it amplifies falsehood. That's what the crowd is. All right, it's just retarded. That's what a crowd is. You know what a crowd is? A crowd is a specific way individuals dissolve into some corrupted socius. They're never responsible for what they do. They're never accountable for what they do. They just dissolve, right? It's where the individual dissolves into just, instead of shouldering like Hercules or like Atlas, like Ayn Rand said, instead of shouldering what actually makes an idea, what actually makes something, they basically just dissolve them. That's, the crowd is full of soy, low testosterone, beta male cucks. That's what a fucking crowd is. Okay, that's what a crowd is. It's always full of those people. Why? Because a Hercules isn't going to dissolve themselves into the crowd. They're not. Now, I'm not saying every group of people being animated is a crowd, and in the qualified sense that I'm using, it's not. Sometimes a crowd isn't bad, right? But in and of itself, a crowd is bad. Like, for example, when people are chanting Magbar America in Iran or whatever, right? Is that a crowd? Well, yes, but the reason it's good is because it's grounded in something. It's a crowd whose chant is grounded in something beyond the crowd. So that chant this is my like Platonist sociology. The crowd is grounded. What's animating that crowd is animated in something beyond the crowd. And what is that beyond? If you're a Platonist, Khomeinist, you're going to say it's the Islamic Republic, right? That's what's animating the crowd. It's the Islamic Republic. It's Islam. It's justice. It's the idea, whatever. Now, if you're a materialist, you can say something like, it's some class unity, whatever, right? But it's something outside just the crowd for the crowd's own sake. Whether it's an idea, it doesn't matter. But crowd in and of itself is bad. The crowd can only be good if what's responsible for the aggregation or the association is not the crowd itself. By the way, I don't distaste crowds. I just distaste crowds that are only based on crowds. That's what I distaste, right? People getting together, having fun. There's nothing wrong with that. A crowd enjoying whatever. That's not a problem, right? See, put it this way: like a crowd that's all together enjoying themselves. That's great, but a crowd that's all together enjoying themselves only because the crowd enjoys it. That is where you get ugliness, isn't it? Isn't that where you get everything fucking stupid and ugly and fucking, shitty? It is. That's where everything shitty comes from.